last customs video, I talked about my Deathstroke, right there in the background. And then before that, I talked about my Batman and my Joker. But this figure is kind of like a redemption story, I guess you could say. Let's get into Bane. Holy cow, you're big. You don't even fit in the frame. Jeez. Okay, we'll just zoom out a little bit. There we go. Now you can actually see this figure. Alright, so this is my first custom big figure that I've ever actually made. This actual figure itself was not intended. I felt like making a Bane just because I've never done something like this before. And I felt like it was a challenge and I needed to do it. So I did it. This figure actually has been repurposed several times. So the first time that I used this figure, it was supposed to be Thanos from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I just decided against it, and I kind of gave up on it for a while. And then I wanted to make it into the Kingpin from Spider-Man, but then I gave up on that too. For some reason, I don't know why. I'm kind of glad that I did though, because he wears pinstripes on every single part of his entire suit, so I'm glad that I gave that up. Now we have Bane. This figure was originally the Killer Croc from the Killer Croc Smash Up. Was that the right set? I think that's the right set. I'll have a picture of it on the screen. If it isn't, then I'll say that I'm dumb or something. But this was the Killer Croc figure, and I picked that one specifically because I knew that figure was going to be the easiest one to change. Killer Croc seemed the easiest to fix into Bane because all I really needed to do was cut off the little spikes on his back. Like, his head was already smooth. I just sculpted it up, made it more of an oval, and that was it after I cut off the spikes on the back. So, yeah. Now, this figure has something that's very, 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 very annoying and very time-consuming, too. I was doing this all day when I was making this figure, and that is the stupid skin tone. The skin tone, because it's painted on a green body, to actually make it look like flesh, I think I painted about 15 coats of paint on this figure before I actually sculpted anything. Just because of the fact that you can see under the pipes, and I don't want to take away immersion, I guess you could say. And yeah, I did 15 coats of paint on this entire figure for the stupid skin tone. And let me just say, I hate it. And when I say that, I mean I hate doing it. Not that I hate how it looks. It looks great, and that's the entire point. He has a silver belt going all around. He has the straps sculpted up. And then he has the Venom powering buttons on both sides with some gauntlets. And then you're probably thinking, what the heck did he do with all of these tubes? So I grabbed, I guess it was technically 1.5 LEGO tubes. These tubes were from the, oh my god, that was like 2016. It was a Lex Luthor versus, what was it, Superman and Wonder Woman set. I don't remember it. It'll be in the video right now, though, just so that you guys know what I'm talking about. But that's one of the tubes from that is repurposed here. And then that right there, that is actually a toothpick holding that up. Because I had this going up like that. I had the little thing right here. And I had the Venom tube going down right here. But this kept on like shifting backwards. So I put a toothpick to hold it up. Because I didn't want it to fall. And surprisingly enough, it looks really good for it just being a toothpick. So that's more of the Lex Luthor tubing right there. And then these were originally part of the Millennium Falcon. There was an extra of the tube for, I think it was the 2010 Millennium Falcon. And for some reason, some guy like tore that thing in half. And I don't know why. But it really worked in my favor because I took this, I painted the inside green, and then I painted the outside a silver color, and it looks really good. And then I sculpted over in certain areas, and that looks really good too. Like, this right here, the little clamps for each section. I really like how those turned out. Those look great. And then all the venom, it all compiles in the areas around his neck. Because usually it pumps towards his brain. I don't know this. I'm not a blood person. I don't know how that works, but I can definitely say that pushing this is going to pump the venom into his system, which, if a ton of tubes are going near his head, that's probably because they're getting pumped into his neck veins, which are the biggest veins of the entire body. They're really sensitive. That's why breaking your collarbone could almost kill you. Is because the fact that there's a lot of blood right here that rushes toward your head and then goes back down to your heart and everything. So I'm guessing that all of these tubes would go into that vein just because it's easy access and it's great to move blood around. So it really comes down to that. I think that's why that's there. And then these tubes, I believe, are from a Mega Block set, I think. When they used to have the Minion sets back in the day. I don't remember the set number or the actual set name. So I'll try to find a picture. If I can't, then I can't, and that's okay. Because the set is irrelevant, so it doesn't matter. And then I sculpted the head on here. I could have done a better job, or at least I wanted to do a better job, but this is really the best that I could get it. And then I added these on later. I added 2 little studs on each side, just because it looked like a regular luchador mask, and I wanted something more to this figure. So I thought, hey, maybe having his air being ventilated through a respirator or something would make more sense. So that's why those are there. And then these also have a custom cuff of the pants right here, going all the way around too. Everything still moves. These arms can move, the hands can move. This arm can move a little bit. I don't know why this one's blocking it from moving, but that one can move just fine. This one's having a little tension problem, but that's fine. I don't really think I'll be messing around with these arms a ton anyway, just because he's a big figure and I don't want to break it. But yeah, that's it for Bane. You have gotten Bane. You have gotten Deathstroke. You have gotten Batman. You have gotten the Joker. But now we move into more dangerous territory. Into way smellier territory. Because I had to go diving in the sewers for this one. Please welcome Killer Croc to the stand. So, here he is, Killer Croc, in all of his disgustingly smelly glory. For all of you people who really know your sets out there, this is actually the Black Order Bigfig. I don't know that character's name because I am much more of a DC geek than a Marvel geek, so yeah, that's this figure's base. And then what I did is, like, I actually kept these up here because I thought that looked a lot like Killer Croc in general. But then if you look at the side of the head, the stuff down here, I actually extended it down just to kind of match the rest of the head with it. And then his teeth are wire. I painted like a metal jaw. I left the eyes pretty much alone. I just made them a bit more yellow. All of this is all custom made. It's all custom mixed, except for black and silver, because those two are base colors. Something very interesting about Killer Croc is I painted him twice. So I painted him with like this really dark green that you could probably see on the back somewhere. Yeah, that's a really good example. Right there. Right there. And it was such a dark green that it almost looked like he was black. Like, it almost looked like Batman. So I decided to dry brush green over it. Like a regular forest green. And it looks really good. You can also see some of that dark green over here on his hand. I sculpted all of these scales. This is a pain to do. But I did it because it has to look good. So I sculpted all of these scales. And then to represent the little spikes in the back, I made scales that popped out more. So there's those 6 on the back. Same thing with the scales on the arm and the hand. And then I sculpted this up because it's the chest of the crocodile. It's supposed to be a little different. These are inmate pants. They don't have any numbers on it because the numbers are usually right here on the shirt. So, and then I painted these boots. I put silver around it just because I felt like it needed some more color. I'd never sculpted scales before, which is why I decided to tackle this figure. I was like, oh wow, I have to make a Killer Croc. He looks cool and everything. And I've never sculpted scales before. And I will say, I was really scared to start this figure because I totally thought I was going to mess up. But I nailed it the first time. I did have to go back in and straighten some lines up for each scale. I did have to do that, but it wasn't that hard in the grand scheme of things. And that's really Killer Croc. I don't really think there's anything that really matters about this guy. I just kind of did this off the bat because I like Killer Croc. Killer Croc's a really cool character, and I had never painted scales or sculpted scales before, so it's a challenge. I had to take it. I'll bring in Bane, because why not? Bane's a little taller just because of the tubes, but that's decent size. Let's get you off of there, because you need to stand next to Bane. There you go. There you go. There's some Killer Croc and Bane. 2 of the biggest characters in all of Batman's universe. I am really proud of both of these figures, to say the least, and I hope you guys like it too. If you're new to the channel, then please subscribe, and don't forget to turn on post notifications, as well as like the video. And if you guys have a very unique character that you don't think I'll actually make on my own, then post in the comments below. I would love to see your suggestions, which I haven't gotten any of so far. As of recording this, I haven't seen any. So do that if you guys want figures made. The cool stuff that you guys actually want to see. So, with all that being said, goodbye and have a great day.